What are the most used financial KPIs in the hotel industry and how to use them? Room occupancy percentage, or ROP. The occupancy percentage is the occupied number divided by the number of rooms available. If a hotel has 470 rooms and 339 are occupied, the daily occupancy percentage is 339 divided by 470, which equals to 72%. Occupancy on a monthly or yearly basis is the total number of realized overnight stays divided by the potential number of overnight stays. So if a hotel has 470 rooms times 30 days equals to 14,100. This is the potential number of overnight stays. But if realized overnight stays during the month were 9,734, then the monthly occupancy percentage is 9,734 divided by 14,100, which equals to 69%. So, occupancy equals to number of occupied rooms divided by number of available rooms times 100. Average daily rate, or ADR. It represents the daily average revenue per occupied room and doesn't include empty rooms. It is calculated by dividing the daily room revenue by the number of rooms sold. If a daily room's revenue is $29,832 and the number of rooms sold is 339, then the average daily rate equals to $29,832 divided by 339, which equals to $88. So, average daily rate equals to room revenue divided by number of rooms sold. The average length of stay, or ALOS. ALOS shows the average number of nights guests stay at the hotel. So, the average length of stay equals to realized number of overnight stays divided by the number of bookings. For example, the number of room nights for a month was 1,092 out of a maximum possible of 1,560 for a 52-room hotel, totaling 436 bookings, where the ALOS is 2.5 days. To influence ALOS, you need to set a minimum length of stay or increase the one-night rate and offer discounts for a more extended stay. Usually, hotels in historic city centers have a low ALOS, which ranges up to 2, while resorts located right on the seashore can have an ALOS between 8 and 9 days. Costs per occupied room, or COPR. The total cost of filling the room includes fixed and variable expenses. It is essential in controlling hotel operating costs because it shows each room's profitability by showing how much each room sold costs you. COPR equals to total rooms department's costs divided by the total number of rooms sold. Revenue per available room, or RevPAR. RevPAR represents the average amount of generated revenue per available room, regardless of whether the rooms are occupied. It offers a clear picture of the hotel's performance and will help you make the right decisions regarding room pricing. It is calculated by dividing the total room revenue by the number of available rooms or multiplying the average daily room rate by the occupancy rate. RevPAR is very useful for calculating the general performance of revenue production of all the available hotel rooms. So, RevPAR equals to rooms revenue divided by the number of rooms available, or RevPAR equals to average daily room rate times the occupancy rate. For example, rooms revenue is $17,600 divided by the number of rooms available, which is 220, equals to $80 RevPAR, or if your ADR is $100, and hotel occupancy is 0.80%, the Rev PAR of the hotel will be $80. Revenue per occupied room, or Rev POR. Rev POR is a performance metric formula in the hotel industry that shows us the generated revenue from the occupied room for a given period, which may be daily, weekly, monthly, or annually. It includes all other hotel services the guests bought in a hotel, like minibar, wellness usage, etc. So, Rev POR equals to total revenue divided by the occupied rooms. Total revenue per available room, TREV PAR. TREV PAR includes not just revenues from the rooms sold, but all other generated revenues in the hotel, such as from restaurants, bars, fitness centers, spas, etc. It shows the total hotel revenue per room and is calculated by dividing the total hotel revenue by the total available rooms. So, TREV PAR equals to total revenue divided by the number of available rooms. For example, if your total hotel daily revenue is $17,000 and your hotel has 130 rooms, your TREV PAR will be $130. Gross operating profit, or GOP. GOP indicates the profitability of the hotel operation, referring to the hotel profit after deducting all operating expenses. So, GOP equals to total room revenue minus gross operating expenses. Gross operating profit per available room, or GOPPAR. GOPPAR represents the room revenue after deducting all operational expenses and includes all hotel rooms, whether occupied or not. So, GOPPAR equals to gross operating profit divided by the total number of available rooms. For example, if your hotel room revenue is $9,200 and your gross operating expenses are $3,220, your gross operating profit is $5,980. When you divide it with 80 available rooms, your GOPPAR will be $74.75. You can see GOPPAR as a daily, monthly, and yearly revenue indicator by using monthly and annual values of the revenue and expenses and multiplying the number of rooms by 30 or 365. Net revenue per available room, or NREV PAR. Net generated revenue per available hotel room refers to the net room revenue after deducting all room distribution costs. So NREV PAR equals to room revenue minus cost of distribution divided by the available room number. As we know, depending on the hotel distribution channel, the cost per room booking can be very significant, ranging between 10% and 25%. The average generated revenue per customer, Rev PAC. The KPI shows the average revenue per customer or user and explains the type of clientele you attract to the hotel. You can make an effort to improve this metric and try to attract guests with higher payment options. So, Rev PAC equals to total revenue divided by total number of customers. It can be calculated at the monthly or annual level and is very helpful for understanding your hotel's business performance and comparing it with the hotel's past performance. If you offer the amenities for random guests like a restaurant, bar, casino, spa, etc., you can also include and calculate them. Let's assume that yesterday you sold 17 rooms that were used by 29 people and brought you $1,445. And those same guests spend an additional $750 at your restaurant and $370 on your spa services. Also, 41 random guests visited your restaurant and spent $1,271. Your Rev PAC for every 70 guests will be $54.8. Net operating income, or NOI. Net operating income is the result obtained after deducting the gross operating expenses from total revenue, showing whether the hotel profits or loses. It does not include expenses such as amortization and interest on loans or rents. NOI is an essential hotel metric for investors because it clearly shows the hotel's ability to make a profit. So, NOI equals to total revenue minus gross operating expenses. For example, if you, on a specific day from room sales, make $2,125, from the restaurant $1,321, and your gross operating expenses are $1,650, then your NOI for that day will be $1,796. You can do these calculations on a weekly, monthly, or yearly basis. Hotel ROI, or return on investment. ROI, or return on investment, evaluates the profitability of specific investments in relation to their cost. In the hotel industry, ROI can be calculated by comparing the hotel's profits or gains to the initial investment. Here's a simple formula for calculating ROI in the hotel business. ROI equals to net profit divided by total investment times 100. Net profit represents the hotel's revenue after deducting all expenses, including operating expenses, maintenance costs, and staff salaries. Total investment includes the cost of starting or acquiring the hotel and any renovations or improvements made. For detailed insights, it's important to consider the time frame over which you calculate ROI and account for depreciation and other relevant factors.